Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel, where we delve deep into the intricate and often tumultuous world of the British royal family. Today, we bring you a truly astonishing and profoundly disquieting story, one that has sent shockwaves through the very foundations of the monarchy's extended circle and left many questioning the true nature of loyalty and public image. We're talking about the latest incredibly poignant revelations surrounding Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, and her enduring complex connection to some of the most controversial figures of our time. Before we embark on this deeply personal and incredibly revealing journey, please take a moment to show your support. Like this video, subscribe to our channel for more exclusive royal updates, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of our in-depth coverage. Your engagement truly helps us continue bringing these stories to you. The Duchess of York, known affectionately to many simply as Fergie, has always been a figure of considerable public fascination. Her spirited personality, her often turbulent relationship with Prince Andrew, and her subsequent efforts to carve out an independent life have kept her in the headlines for decades. However, the latest chapter in her story is not one of her own making, but rather a fallout from the long-shadowed scandal surrounding the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. This saga, which continues to unravel with devastating consequences, has now cast a particularly harsh light on the Duchess, leading to a profound sense of disbelief and heartache among those closest to her. At the very heart of these latest developments is Daphne Barak, a distinguished journalist and author whose previous work had already brought to light a highly contentious email from the Duchess of York to Jeffrey Epstein. Miss Barak, a woman of integrity and a longtime friend of Sarah Ferguson, has now courageously broken her silence, sharing details of a recent conversation with the Duchess that paint a truly unsettling picture. According to Miss Barak, who spoke with Sarah just a few weeks ago, the Duchess of York expressed considerable distress regarding a recently published book. Sarah vehemently denied its contents, asserting to her friend, "This is not true, Daphne. This is not true." It was a plea, an earnest attempt to discredit the narrative, but one that Miss Barak, with her seasoned journalistic acumen, found herself unable to accept without further corroboration. In a candid discussion with GB News, Miss Barak recounted her firm response to Sarah's denials. She stated, "I said, Sarah, I'm not going to do the dirty work for you. Either you said it or not, otherwise the public would assume everything in this book is true." This powerful statement underscores the immense pressure on public figures to address accusations directly and transparently, particularly when their reputation, and indeed the reputation of the royal family by association, hangs in the balance. Miss Barak's refusal to simply dismiss the allegations on Sarah's word alone highlights the ethical imperative of journalism to pursue truth, even when it involves a friend. It demonstrates a commitment to public accountability that transcends personal loyalty, a difficult but necessary stance for any reputable journalist. But Miss Barak's revelations did not stop there. She went on to deliver an even more startling warning to Fergie, one that would leave anyone in her position utterly speechless. "But I said you have much bigger problems to come," Miss Barak disclosed, explaining the rapidly unfolding situation where documents related to the Epstein case were being released. She emphasized the gravity of the situation, adding, "And I said your name appears in plenty of documents, some written by you, Sarah." This chilling forecast of impending revelations, particularly the detail that some of these incriminating documents were asterisk, authored by the Duchess herself, asterisk, suggests a level of personal involvement that goes far beyond mere association, and points to a direct connection that could have profound and lasting implications for her public standing and personal life. Miss Barak, who has observed Sarah's coping mechanisms over many years, then offered a rather poignant insight into the Duchess's character. She described the mother of two as someone who likes to hide. She's like an ostrich. "Oh, let me take a walk in the park and think." This analogy paints a vivid picture of someone perhaps overwhelmed by crisis, hoping to escape by simply ignoring the impending storm. However, Miss Barak, with a clear-eyed realism, quickly dispelled any notion that this strategy would be effective. "There's nothing to think. I said it's coming. It's not up to you." The stark reality, as Miss Barak explained, was that these revelations were inevitable, part of a legal process beyond Sarah's control. She further revealed that they had been monitoring major publications, stating, "And we were actually looking at the Daily Mail and the Sun on Sunday, we knew about other letters." This indicates a pre-existing awareness within their circle that more damaging information was on its way, making the eventual discovery of the letters even more impactful. The emotional toll of these revelations on Miss Barak herself is palpable. Her voice heavy with sorrow, she recounted the moment the full extent of the scandal became clear. "But on Wednesday night, when I got the phone call that these letters had been found and they showed it to me, I was crying. I was shocked. I didn't believe how could anybody write that." These are not the words of a dispassionate journalist, but of a friend utterly devastated by what she had uncovered. Her tears, her profound shock, and her outright disbelief speak volumes about the nature of the content within these newly discovered documents. Content so appalling that it defied her understanding of human behavior, particularly from someone she knew so well. Miss Barak elaborated on why these particular revelations struck such a deep, personal chord, linking it to her professional life. "Because of my career with children, charities, and books is so important, you have to understand," she explained. The notion that such correspondence could be directed to a pedophile was, for her, almost incomprehensible. Her extensive work dedicated to protecting children made the idea of a friend engaging in such communication profoundly disturbing. "I just didn't believe that," she reiterated, emphasizing her genuine shock and immediate need for an explanation. In her distress, she sent a text message to the Duchess, gently suggesting, "Well, you may have an explanation." It was a lifeline offered, a hope that perhaps there was an innocent or at least understandable context to these deeply troubling communications. An explanation, Miss Barak noted, did eventually come, albeit from a spokesperson. However, for Miss Barak and many others, this official statement fell far short of providing genuine clarity or reassurance. She voiced a profound bewilderment, stating, "I personally, as many others, don't understand how a convicted pedophile, a sex abuser who had to register himself everywhere he went, could sue somebody for calling him a convicted pedophile. This legal paradox, where a known criminal appears to have leverage to challenge accurate descriptions of his past, suggests a deeper, more complicated web of interactions and agreements that remain hidden from public view. It raises critical questions about the nature of the relationship, implying that there might be things that she didn't tell us." The personal impact of these revelations on Daphne Barak is clear. She candidly shared that Sarah had confided many personal details to her over the years, secrets Miss Barak would never repeat. This highlights the depth of their friendship and the trust that had been built between them. For Miss Barak, this is not merely a public scandal, it is a profound personal betrayal. "But this is not only a shock for the nation of England and many others and royalists," she emphasized. "This is a personal shock for me." This sentiment underscores the devastating effect these revelations have had on Miss Barak, transforming what might have been a professional exposé into a deeply painful personal ordeal. It speaks to the erosion of trust and the heartbreaking realization that a friend may have withheld critically important and potentially damaging truths. In her attempts to grapple with the situation, Miss Barak tried to understand Sarah's motivations, to find some logical explanation for the seemingly inexplicable. Yet she found herself telling the Duchess, "Sarah, this is a very, very tough one to explain." It implies that even with all her insights into Sarah's character, this particular entanglement transcends easy justification. Miss Barak then offered a telling moniker for her friend. "Sarah, I call her the Queen of Reinventions." This description is particularly insightful, pointing to Sarah's long history of navigating public perception, of reshaping her image and narrative in the face of adversity. It's a testament to her resilience, but in this context, it also raises questions about the authenticity of those reinventions, and whether they serve to truly address underlying issues or merely to gloss over them. Miss Barak further illustrated this point by recalling a deeply personal confidence shared by the Duchess. She recounted how Sarah confided in her and her husband about her cancer diagnosis 3 months before going public with the news. This intimate detail highlights the level of trust and closeness between the two women. Miss Barak then shared a remarkably candid, even sarcastic piece of advice she offered Sarah during a particularly challenging period of negative publicity, largely due to Prince Andrew's own controversies. I was saying to her at one point, because the publicity was so bad because of Andrew and everything, I said to her sarcastically, maybe you'll start talking about the cancer and that would change your image. This anecdote is incredibly revealing. It demonstrates Miss Barak's understanding of the Duchess's need to control her narrative and her ability to strategically deploy personal information to garner public sympathy and shift perception. It was a cynical observation, perhaps, but one rooted in a deep understanding of how the royal machine and the public's perception of it often works. And indeed, Miss Barak noted the outcome. We were thinking about it, then she did. And I think she did earn a lot of credit for doing it. This confirms Sarah's capacity for strategic image management and her ability to successfully navigate public opinion, even in the most trying circumstances. She used a personal health crisis to turn the tide of negative publicity, a testament to her Queen of Reinvention's title. However, the current crisis, with its direct links to the abhorrent Jeffrey Epstein scandal and the explicit mention of the Duchess's name in potentially incriminating documents, presents a challenge of an entirely different magnitude. This is not a matter of a public relations makeover or a strategic disclosure. This is a profound and deeply troubling entanglement that threatens to overshadow all previous attempts at reinvention and may leave an indelible stain on her public and private life. The tears and shock expressed by Daphne Barak, a loyal friend, underscore the sheer gravity of the situation and the personal anguish it has inflicted on those who care for Sarah Ferguson. This unfolding story serves as a stark reminder that the shadows of the past, particularly those cast by figures like Jeffrey Epstein, have a long reach, affecting even those on the periphery of the royal circle. The revelations shared by Daphne Barak are not just news. They are a window into the raw, emotional impact of these scandals on individuals, challenging our perceptions of celebrity, loyalty, and accountability. What are your thoughts on these incredibly sensitive and deeply personal revelations? Do you believe Sarah Ferguson will be able to navigate this latest, most challenging chapter in her life? Or do these revelations represent an insurmountable hurdle? Please share your perspectives and insights in the comments section below. We value your opinions and look forward to a respectful discussion. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for ongoing updates, and join us again as we continue to explore the fascinating and often dramatic world of the royal family. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next broadcast.